Well, a heat wave has hit us hard here in New Brunswick, Canada, and it's about 10 o'clock at night. My daughter is sleeping. My wife is sleeping. Actually, my daughter may not be sleeping. We'll see. I've been asked to model a modern chair, and I'm going to start with just a computer chair. All right, I've never modeled a computer chair before, so it's going to look something like this. All right, so, and it's going to be relatively easy, okay? Later on, we'll try more complicated chairs and complicated patterns on the seat and stuff like that. So here we go. Let's get rid of everything and switch over to cycles. Screencast keys are on, and let's look down from the top and bring in a plane. And let's make that seat cushion. All right, so I'm going to go into that plane, and I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to subdivide it. I'll subdivide it 10 times, just like that. And then I'm going to select these corner vertices, and I want to bevel those, so I'm going to go Shift Control B, pull back like that, and I'm going to add a few segments so it's nice and rounded. I'm going to select it all. I'm going to hit E to extrude, and I'm going to bring it up to give it some thickness, like that. And I think that's good for the moment. This is going to be a very simple pillow. And now I want to bend this, and the way I'm going to bend this is with a lattice. Okay, so that'll be something new. Don't use that very often. So I'm going to go Shift A and bring in a lattice, and I'm going to shape it so that it exactly fits my object. Scale on the Z here. Let's look from the side there. I'll get it as close as I can. All right, just like that, so it encompasses that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, looking down from the top again, I'm going to go into that lattice. Pull that out. There's the icon for lattice, and I'm going to add another segment this way, okay? Lengthwise or whatever. I'm going to select my cushion, and in the Modifier tab, I'm going to choose Lattice, and the object is just the only lattice I have, is that one. All right, so now I'm going to select the lattice, and I'm going to go into Edit mode, and I'm going to select these two vertices and these two vertices. All right, I can look from, so there, I got the top ones and the bottom ones, and I'm going to pull those down, and that's going to deform my cushion. All right, so it doesn't have to be too crazy, something like that. All right, and let's go back out, and by the way, on my object, let's apply a subdivision surface. Okay, like that, and we'll smooth it so you can get there, you get the sense of what's happening here. Let's switch over to a nice matte cap, the one I always like to use, which will look great for this purpose. Okay, it's the sound of a moving baby in a crib. Okay, once I'm happy with that shape, then I'm just going to select and hit apply, and I can delete the lattice. I've got my cushion. So now I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to go Shift D, rotate X90, and I'm going to move it to the back and up. Something like that. And let's taper this in, and I think the way I'm going to try to do this is with simple deform, taper, no bend. Yeah, bend, but we'll play around with the angles. Just a little bit like that. All right, and then I'm just going to scale it in object mode. Scale it down like that a bit. And I'll rotate it in the X, I'll hold Shift, just rotate it back just a little bit. Didn't go very much, so we'll do some more. Like that. Okay, we can come back and adjust these positions a little bit later on. All right. Okay, let's get rid of the grid floor. There we go. Okay, with this object selected, Shift S cursor to selected, let's bring in a cylinder. And I am going to go with 20 vertices because I'm going to be extruding 5 legs and I want to skip a couple, so it's a good multiple to use. Let's scale this down. And I'm going to extrude the legs from this. I'm going to select every 2 and skip 2. And that way I'll be able to extrude these and make the 5 legs that are typical of an office chair. Okay, so with that done on individual origins, I'm going to select extrude region and I'm going to pull down to the side, I guess, and pull them out a ways like that. Scale in the Z. Just want to double check they're all taking it. Yeah. Okay, and we'll pull down. Great. Okay, so I'm going to be adding a subdivision surface to this. So I am going to put an edge loop near the end of every one of these. It doesn't have to be exact. Just like that. I'm also going to be using this to build some other stuff, so I'm just going to start bringing that up. Let's go ahead and have a look at this with Subdivision Surface and see what we need to add to this. We'll hit Smooth. Okay, start to see what it's going to do. Let's bring in an edge loop here and bring it up near the top and one down near the bottom. Okay, that's going to be just fine. So now let's have another look at the chair. So I've got a sort of a bigger circle there, a smaller one, and then the piston-like stuff. So bigger one, let's come into here, one, and then we'll bring that up just a little bit more, and then we'll hit I to inset, and E to extrude. We'll bring up another one up to about there, and then we'll hit inset. We'll come quite small, and we'll bring that one up. Let's go ahead and start working on these. I'm going to use edge loops as opposed to mean crease, although I might use mean crease as well. I'm going to use edge loops for the time being. And put a few more edge loops in here. It's particular regions that I know are going to give me some issue. Okay, I'll just put one in there for the time being. Let's have a look at how that's shaping up. Okay, we're going to bring that region up a little bit higher now, like that, and then we'll hit E and S will come out, E will come up, like that. That's going to be enough of that, so let's put some more edge loops there. That. Okay, that's good. Save. Let's hide that for the moment and make sure that the chair is selected. By the way, we can always come in here. We could do a bit more work here. I can put a couple of edge loops here, scale them in the Z. No, I'm not going to scale them in the Z. That's going to move their position. Instead, if I want to keep the curvature, I could select one and hit GG. That's edge slide. And I can move it to there. And if I wanted to, I could grab those and I could hit just scale but Shift Z and just pull them out a bit to bulk it up. It's the small amount. I don't even know if that's noticeable. Let's go back in and try that again. Scale Shift Z. I'm going to hold Shift, but it'll come out a bit more. There we go. That rounds it a bit. Anyhow, with that selected, I'm going to create a plane, move it down, go into edit mode, and we'll scale it. And I'm going to make a plate that attaches to the bottom here of the chair. Not too thick though. Let's look in front view. E and come down. Maybe that thick. Let's flip the polys. Now, in order to bend this, I'm going to have to add some loop cuts. So I'm just going to add a bunch there, like that, and I'll add a few more on this side as well, just like that. Okay, so I want this to conform roughly to the shape of the chair itself, and so I'm going to hide that. And what I'm going to do is what I did last time. First of all, cursor selected. I'm going to use a lattice. So lattice, scale in the Z. Scale in the X. And in the Y. And let's go into it. Let's put one right there. And select my object. And choose lattice, and the object is the lattice. Select the lattice again, and go into edit mode, and I'm going to select these points here, just like I did before. And I'm going to start bending, and I'm going to come back and bring back the chair, and I guess everything. And I just want to get a sense of the curvature. I can select the lattice. Lattice and that, and I can bring it up. That's not bad. I could just go with that. Alright, that being the case, I'm going to select my object and I want to apply the lattice. I can delete the lattice. I'm going to take this and I'm going to try just using the bevel modifier. And smooth. Okay, so that would attach to the chair. Maybe we'll do some bolts. I'm just going to pull it in a little bit more. Let's select that. And on top of that, I'm going to create a cube. Just like that. Actually, maybe a little bit thicker. And I'm going to try beveling that as well. Push it in. Okay, that looks all right. Let's take this whole piece. I could get rid of faces. I haven't been doing that, but I could get rid of this face. Just bring this in. I'm thinking that, I don't know, that maybe this doesn't look big enough compared to the chair and the cushions. Maybe that's better. Control A, apply scale or rotation and scale. Cool. Okay, let's do a little bit more. Let's do the armrest here. Shift A and bring in a cube again. Scale this in the X like that. Move it over. I'm going to scale it in the Z and position it roughly where it would be. Scale in the Y. Okay, I'll start with that. Okay, and now let's round these edges here. select them, Control B, pull back, roll my mouse wheel up, and face selection, grab that face and this face, and hit I to inset, pull it in until you're happy with the thickness on both sides. Control E, bridge edge loops, just make sure merge is not checked. Select it all and Control N, because watch down here. Okay, see it's a little bit dark. Watch this, right where that cross is. There. Okay, some of the polys were flipped. Okay, so we get that effect so far. Let's go ahead and add Subdivision Surface of 2 and Smooth. And then you just decide if you want to throw in edge loops, if you want it sharper than that, you want it thicker than that. Looks a little bit thin to me. Let me back up a little bit to where right back to the beginning, eh? Let's see if I do redo how far I go. Right to there, eh? Well, I'm wondering if I can scale this, but not in the X, right? Scale Shift X. Well, that was a lot faster than doing anything else. Sure made much of a difference. Okay, I think I'll try it with some edge loops. I'll just slide one over here and slide one over there. Not going right to the end. So I did that. Okay, I want to skew this a little bit to sort of follow the angle of the chair. So where am I? Control 3. And I might need to change the size of this thing. All right, let's go to wireframe. Let's box all that and pull it down. And let's just pull it over like this. I might do a little bit more because I may angle that back a little bit more too. Just makes it a bit more interesting. Let me have a look at my other picture and see. Let's do, not join, origin of geometry. Maybe I'll scale that in the X. Okay, well with that selected, let's mirror this. Mirror it across the chair, just like that. I don't need to apply it right now. Okay, cool. Alrighty, let's angle this back more. Rotate X. That's what I'm talking about, and maybe that's why these need to be more. I almost wish they were thinner now that I think about it, but that's okay. Let's grab these ones and pull them this way. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make them thinner at least to scale in the X. That's gonna be a little bit better. And maybe a little bit shorter in the Y that way. All right, let's work on the feet of this thing. I'm just gonna select that. And I'm going to bring in a cylinder. 20 is fine. Let's rotate X90. bring it down. Can't see anything down there anyhow. Okay, let's scale it and bring it up. Sort of position it around one of these legs. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 edge loops, and I'm going to select all of that, and I'm going to go E to extrude, scale shift Y, and I'm going to pull it in to make that part there. Okay, and then I'm going to take this face and this face and delete them. Let's press the period key to zoom in on just that. And then I'm going to take edge, whoops, ES, no, I'm in individual origins, no I'm not. Okay. Geez, maybe I shouldn't have, I could have left that face and went Alt P to poke. I could have done that. Alt P, and then I take that vertex there, that central vertex there and there, and I'm going to scale in the Y a bit, just like that. Grab that edge, all these edges here. Control B and bevel. Oh, I see, we got an issue. Do we have an issue? Yeah, we got an issue. Okay, so I need to apply rotation and scale is likely what I need to do. Nothing else selected, right? No, okay, so darn it. Let's try removing doubles. Yeah, I had a problem there. Too bad. I don't know what it was, but I had a problem. Something went weird. Maybe when I deleted those faces. I'm also going to put in a couple of edge loops here. Scale in the Y. I'm going to need that for subdivision surface. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's hit smooth. Okay. So, is that too wide? Maybe, eh? Let's set the origin of geometry. Let's select the whole thing and try, I'll try scaling globally like that. I have slightly narrower wheels. Let's see if I like that. That's fine. Cool. Okay, let's select that. Shift S, cursor to selected. I'm going to bring in a cylinder to make the stock part that comes out of the wheel there. Let's do that then. The cylinder, 28, sorry. I'm not worried about my polys. Scale. And bring it up. Scale Shift Z and just make it fit. That fits. Touch down, and we'll come in here. I'll pull it down actually, so we can go a little bit more like that. But I can get rid of that face though, because it'll be hidden. Okay. I'm gonna hit smooth, and well, I guess it's got to go up more. And if it gives me some trouble, I can do edge split. Yeah, it was some shading was off. Is it right in the middle of that? It should be. Yeah, okay, we're close enough. Now, I'm gonna make the little covers, I guess, that go over that. Let's should be selected, right? From the side view, let's try bringing in a circle, 32, I don't know, 18 or something. Rotate X90, scale it. We're going object mode to scale it. It doesn't want to scale. Why don't you want to scale? Why would you not want to scale? Want to scale, you just don't want to do it when you don't want to do it. Okay, vertex. Let's box select all these. Boom. border select, box select, select, E to extrude. Let's pull it out like this. Let's move back. Right at the edge of one of these there. Okay, and then we'll grab these guys again and we'll pull them out. So it's about the right thickness. And let's make sure we've done that. And let's add solidify. That's probably okay right there. And let's add a subdivision surface of 2. Put in some edge loops, Control R twice, and then scale in the Y like that. Put another edge loop down there, another one down here. Let's go ahead and apply the solidify as smooth, and that's what we'll get. Okay, I don't think I'll do any more detail on the wheels. You could put little, ring in there if you want and make it a different color. That would look really cool. But I'm just going to go ahead and select all of these. All right, and work on copying them over. So I'm going to go Shift D and mess around with this. They're all going to be in the same orientation at first. I'll just bring them in, and then we'll see how close they are into their positions where they need to be. Okay, like that. Should be. Boy, you can really see where that one goes anyhow. So we'll come back under. Let's get rid of that so we can actually see. All right. So I like the position of that one. And then this one, I'll bring over a little bit like that. And that. Okay, close enough. Is that one close enough? Yeah. This one, pretty good. All right, I don't know how that looks with them all turned that way. Do they need to be turned differently? How are they in my diagram? Oh, they're facing the front way. Well, we could work on that. I wonder if I can. I'm just curious. Can I select them all? What am I missing? Curiosity. Get everything? Can I do individual origins? That's the very front thing. And can I just rotate in the Z and have everybody behave? How about that? How about that? Well, all right. I don't like them. I don't like them all facing the front, but I wouldn't render right from there. I render from there or something anyhow. Okay, good enough. Well, you know what? We're almost done, really. Unless you wanted to put bolts in here. The last thing I was thinking of doing, well, I'll show you. Select that face, Shift S, cursor to select it to bring my 3D cursor there. And then I'm going to bring, what am I going to do? A curve? Yeah, I'm going to do a curve. Okay, Shift A, I'm going to bring in a curve, path. And I'm going to rotate Z90. And let's look at the side. And let's go into edit mode. Let's get rid of this vertex and even that one. And just have it from there. I'll probably need to do another one. Let's bring this one over here Bring this one over here, and let's start bending it, okay? And massaging the points. I'm going to E to extrude, and bring up another one, and I'm just going to go underneath, aren't I? Okay. Alright, I'm just going to go underneath. Let's get rid of that one. Here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to have to move that chair back, that piece back a little bit. Okay, timeout on that. I want to move this back and down a little bit. I think that's been bothering me anyhow. Okay. Go back in our curve, and I'm going to select those 2 points and go W subdivide. That's going to put another point in, and I'm going to just bring it out. Not with everything selected though. Alright, bring that back. I'm going to bring this point right in. Alright, so I get a relatively smooth curve there. That was a bit weird what I just did, so we'll work on this a little bit. Okay, now, so I'm going to do this. Alright, let's start with that. Okay, and I'm going to, I'll bring it out for a second. Shift A, mesh, make a cube, scale it way down. Bring it out, scale it in the Z. Relatively thin, not the Z. The X, no, what am I doing? Yeah, scale that in the X, that's right. I should get rid of these faces, shouldn't I? Yes, we'll get rid of those faces, and then we will add some loop cuts like that. Oh, not there. On the side. I don't really think I need them, but okay. Let's go ahead and hit an array in the Y. All right. Not in the X. Now let's look on the other side for a moment there. Okay, and I'll start bringing up the count like this. Okay, good enough for the time being. I guess we don't need that. And I'm going to add a curve modifier here, and I'm going to choose the NURBS path, and you can see it starts to do that. So let's grab the curve. Let's hide that for a moment. Let's take the curve. I can slide it out there and bring my thing back, and I'll still keep the shape. Let's take the curve and this, and let's push it in to there, which is what I want, and I want that going into there exactly like that. Okay, let's hit smooth though here, and also subdivision surface. Let's close some of these up. Subdivision surface 2. And I can go back into the original one, which you may have trouble seeing now. To do that, I'll hide that. Okay, so I can go back into my original guy there. Okay, this is what you have, and I can put an edge loop here and here, just if I want that kind of effect, which I think I do, and one along there and there. Okay, and then I'll get more of the effect that I want. Let's Alt-H, bring that box back. And I can also change the thickness of this, scale this in the X if I want to make it a little bit wider. Alright, and if I think it's too faceted for my likes, I can add more segments in the original piece. And I can also change the thickness, and I might want to do that, or maybe I just want to change the position. So I'm going to select the curve and that. And first of all, that's not in where I wanted it to be. There, that's better. There we go, just like that. I just have to decide, you know, for example, if you did want to change the thickness, just go back into here, you know, select it all. Oops. A, scale Z, and everything will become thicker. You know, for a bit more of a convincing bar or whatever. And you know, once you're happy with that, if that's something that makes you happy, you just go through and you know, apply the array and apply the curve. I'm not going to apply the subdivision surface. I'll do that, and I can still change the size of this if I want it bigger or smaller. I think I need to change this though a little bit. Let's look from the front. Or is it the right height? Actually, it looks a bit high to me. If you did have to do that, you could go in and select all of that and just bring it up like that. And then select all of those. Not that though. Bring them back in. Okay, and the last thing would be that little lever that you use to adjust the height. So I'll select the box thing here. I might even want to bring it down a bit. And one face of it, that size, Shift S, cursor selected. And I'll do what I did before, or no, I didn't do this before actually, I don't think. Bring it to plane, and go into vertex, Alt M, merge it center so I have just one point. Look from the top, E to extrude, and I'll pull that point out like that. And I don't know if I wanted that out that far. And then E to extrude. You can't really see it, so I'm just going to push it forward a little bit, and then like that on a bit of an angle. Okay, and I think I'll leave it at that, and then I'll go Alt C. What do I want to do? I guess curve from mesh, and we'll go over to the curve icon and choose full, and then we'll bring up the depth and the resolution and smoothing, and we'll see if we get a bit of a bar and how thick we want it. Okay, not too thick, something like that. That's good. Alt C, convert to a mesh, and then we'll come in and right at that joint there, that edge, I'm going to go Control B, and I'm going to bevel, pull it out, and we'll round it off like that. Okay, and then I'm going to select this area here, Shift S, okay, let's say Shift S, cursor selected, and 3 cursors there, and right at that spot I'm going to go Shift A, and I'm going to bring in a circle. 18 is fine, but I'm going to scale it down to about maybe that size. Let's zoom in and go in, and I go E and S, E and S, E and Alt M. Oh, except Alt M, merge in center. Let's select the whole thing, E, and bring it up and make a section that's a little bit thicker than that post there. Bring it down, maybe a bit more, scale it in the Z. Okay, and how did I close? Yeah, I closed them like that. All right, and I can bevel these, and then add a subdivision surface. Okay. So there is the chair. I think maybe this has got to go up. Okay. And that thing we'll check and see. We still have contact. Lucky. Okay, there's no lumbar support. Bring your own pillow. Okay, so there's the chair. Let's come over to render. Let's bring it up and just do that for now. Okay, perhaps I'll do materials for this another time, but I was asked if I would model a chair, and that was a lot of fun. Enjoyed doing that.